like a floki, jump, 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 jump like a floki, jump, 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 a really big floki. Okay, we're here. We're live. Are we live? So some news came in. Dolly Parton is gone. Is this true? The whole world is remembering Dolly Parton. Wow. What a legend. But anyway, today we're here for Kelpie stories. Kelpie mythical creature. Oh, yes. There's so many stories about these things. So last night we were watching this. I don't think we were able to finish it. Let's see if it's the same channel. Thought Potato, Biology of Kelpie, Imposter of the Loch. This is interesting. Did I watch this? This is basically based on Scottish mythology. Let me see. Let's update social media. Tell them that we're live so that they can find us. Let me see. Etianverse Studios. We'll come back to the video. Yeah, we're live. Media. Tell them that we're live. Okay. So that they can find us. Hello, Morgan. How are you? I'm back live. I'm doing a live. I'm doing sharing fast on social media. You know the drill. Just telling people that we're live. All things Stormloch. Okay. Then put a good thumbnail. Oh, so many. The great thumbnail I created for Stormloch must be somewhere. You can see how unorganized I am. Here you go, Stormloch. Here you go. Okay. How are you doing, Morgan? How are you? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm back. We're supposed to go live tonight, but I've had a few delays, so the campaign won't go live till tomorrow morning. So it's better to have things organized properly rather than rush into doing it. So it's gonna go live tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna go back to backing Stormloch. I need to post online to tell people that I'm live. No, we don't need this kind of generated. How are you doing? How is your evening? I just came from my niece's birthday party, so it was a wild house with a lot of kids. My niece is 9, so I was always seeing family. So now let's find Stormloch. Yeah, everything's okay. I'm all good as well. I'm ready for the launch tomorrow. Stormloch is supposed to come today, but you know, these things happen. A few delays there and there, but it's plenty enough time to rest up and then get charged for tomorrow. Right, so let's see. That's perfect. So today I've been learning how to say the word Stormloch. They don't say loch, it's loch. In Scotland they say loch. So I've been asking a lot of people about it, and apparently it's Loch, but obviously my character can be called Stormloch. There's that. It sounds a bit French, you know. I would say if you asked me. Um, so let me see. Let me first post on my Facebook page. Tell everyone I'm live. No, it's not the one I'm after. I was hanging around kids now. All I'm singing is the music. Now back. Oh yes. Today we are watching a very creepy video about kelpies. Let me see. Here we go. Before that, we need to update social media. Live on YouTube, chatting all things Stormloch. Stormloch. Like Stormloch. I don't know why they time to see more of the kelpie. Definitely, I'm ready. Let me see. I need to add in a link here. I know you can see my timeline, like I'm trying to get people to see the notification that I'm live. I've been enjoying doing my YouTube videos because but Morgan, how about we watch the new trailer for Avengers? You know, Endgame. They're gonna release it in the cinema. I don't know if you're a fan of the Endgame Avengers leading to the Endgame, but they're gonna release it because they have Doomsday coming. How about we watch that and talk about it quickly before we get into the kelpie stuff? Your call. You tell me. Do you wanna go straight into the kelpie stuff, or do you wanna watch this trailer first? Straight cleaning my glasses. Today I'm prepared, by the way. I'm not moving away from here till the whole stream is done. Okay. This is a long one. Biology of the kelpie. Imposter in the lock. Now, I'm gonna give credit to the owner, Thought Potato. The channel is called Thought Potato. This is Thought Potato. It's an educational channel, I think. Let's see if this one is gonna be creepy. You know. No, so what they did is they're releasing Endgame, but I think they're adding 4 minutes of footage. Maybe let's check it out, see if there's anything. I hope I don't get any strike. Let me see. Endgame. Yeah, it was released. Are you ready? It was released 6 hours ago. Let's go.
Hey, Cap, you read me? Captain Sam, can you hear me? On your left.
I was screaming when I saw the Black Panther entering, dude.
Avengers!
Assemble!
Assemble. We have a plan. 6 stones, 3 teams, 1 shot. You mess with time. Time tends to mess back.
I'm gonna rewatch it. I'm gonna rewatch it. I know I've seen some of the footage, but I feel like they've used different angles of some of the footage that we probably didn't see it. But I'm gonna rewatch it for the sake of Doomsday. If that's meant to create excitement in me, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Anyway, enough with this. Let's get to KLPs. Oh, you guys, Tyrone Magnus is already reacted to it as well. The Avengers are coming. Okay, let's see. So let's go to our KLP. Let's see.
Travelers to their doom. For centuries, witnesses have described encounters with a beautiful, black, equine creature with a glistening mane of dripping weeds, often spotted near the water's edge, watching quietly in the gathering dusk. The story goes that those who dare to reach out or touch its mane or mount its back find themselves trapped, fused to the beast's hide, pulled toward the water as it plunges into the cold depths below. On the surface, these tales appear to be nothing more than superstition, a cautionary fable warning children and wanderers alike to keep their distance from treacherous waters. Yet, as I've learned through years of investigation, nature often conceals truths more astounding than any myth. These so-called water horses are not supernatural spirits, but nor are they horses at all. They are rather one of the most extraordinary examples of animal mimicry ever documented. The Kelpie occupies a distinct place in Celtic folklore. While the finer details shift from one region's story to the next, a few threads remain fairly consistent. Nearly every account describes a horse-like presence lingering at the water's edge, its mane dark and dripping with aquatic plants, its coat often a deep, gleaming black. Now and then, a rare pale Kelpie appears in the old tales, standing out even more sharply against the fading light of dusk. Some say the creature can even take on human form, though it can't entirely mask its true nature. The retaining of hooves are a frequent giveaway. The Kelpie's hunting strategy, as related in folklore, is remarkably specific.
Okay, Morgan, I have a question for you. Have you backed us before on Kickstarter? And if so, which campaign did you back? And another question is, are you going to be backing Stormloch on a Kickstarter? And by the way, do you know how to back projects on Kickstarter? Let me know in the comments.
It waits in places where travelers must pass, blending into the twilight. Those who venture near often believe they've stumbled upon a harmless stray, perhaps an abandoned horse in need of aid. But even that first step closer often seals the victim's fate. Witnesses speak of hands drawn irresistibly toward the creature's slick hide, of sudden dread too late realized. In these accounts, victims find themselves stuck fast to the Kelpie's body as it drags them under the dark.
I feel like from all the videos we've watched, it's the same concept. They see the horse, it's got seaweed, it drags you and then pushes you under the water. That's quite creepy. But we should find a more creepy video about Kelpies. But there's something else that I saw today that I thought was quite fascinating. Was this video? You can see I've been researching so much about these Kelpies. Let me see. Kelpie design. Let's close the Avengers page. Now.
Yielding water. Tales vary on how the Kelpie claims its victims, but in almost all cases, it thrives on deception. Parents in rural communities once warned their children never to approach a lone horse near a river or loch, especially one lacking any sign of bridle or rider, yet showing no fear of human presence. One particularly grim account, dating back to the late 18th century, describes a group of 7 children who climbed onto what they took for a docile, unattended horse.
Yesterday we saw a part of the video that shows how it stretches its back and it can fit more people. Now in this video they're saying that it took about 7 kids. Is it weird that some of these stories link and they have some information? It's quite interesting.
Lake's edge. Only one child escaped, and he later spoke of how the creature's back had stretched unnaturally to hold them all before it plunged beneath the surface. My investigation would soon reveal that even such outlandish claims hold surprising grains of truth.
I told you, there's a bit of truth to every story.
The investigation that brought us face to face with the truth of the Kelpie began as many of our field studies do, with whispers and rumors. My team and I, or what's left of it, were dispatched to the Scottish Highlands to look into a string of livestock disappearances. Multiple sheep had gone missing without a trace.
No
No
way.
scattered wool, no blood trails, nothing that suggested a known predator. Multiple witnesses described seeing a horse, dark and watchful, lingering at the water's edge, too still, too calm.
He's saying that him and his team went. I mean, did these guys actually go looking for these kelpies? See? I feel like we are unveiling something. Particularly, I feel like all these stories that are coming online, you feel like it's kind of like the fact that it's reasons why I feel like it's not made up. It's repeated occurrences of events, of things that have happened and stories that are told. That's sort of linked to the stories, to real events that happen to people. What's your thoughts? What do you think? This is true? What's your thoughts on the Kelpie? Just tell me. What's your thoughts? Yeah, oh yeah, the animation is interesting. It's 63% funded. So we are about £770 short. Yeah, so we getting close to the release to reaching our goal.
It was one elderly shepherd's account in particular that caught my attention. It moved like black water, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. I intuited then that we were dealing with something beyond the scope of a simple predator. Even so, our initial surveys proved frustrating. Thermal imaging revealed nothing of note in the bodies of water we sought out, and sonar detected only the expected fish populations. After several unsuccessful nights, we took a more direct approach and set up a tethered goat near the water's edge. We also installed underwater cameras to monitor the area. This would prove to be our breakthrough. In short, my valued listener, what emerged from the depths that night was no horse. The footage revealed a large cephalopod using sophisticated mimicry to hunt its prey. We had discovered what I have called Limnopus hippomorphus.
Huh?
As I've discovered firsthand.
That looked like an octopus. Let's go back. Am I wrong? No, go back. Right. Like an octopus in form of a horse. Is it just me? Look. You know, the octopus parts. This could be the head of the octopus, but for some reason it's created the head of a horse.
Mimicry to hunt its prey. We had discovered what I have called Limnopus hippomorphus.
Oh.
As I've discovered firsthand, the worlds of science and mythology are complex and ever-changing, and each exploration leads to 1,000 new trails to follow. Novelists, video game designers, and dungeon masters know this as well, and they all know the pain of simply keeping track of everything as they make it ready to share with the world. But with World Anvil, even the most complex world building is a breeze. With 25 world building article templates, you can write up detailed accounts and format them in wiki-style presentations. Then,
yeah, there is definitely an octopus in that design. Maybe potentially takes a shape of a horse to deceive the ship that it's okay to be close to it. I mean, this is just all us doing research, basically. It's not like the truth.
About everything from species and races to regions, characters, diseases, and magic systems, and effortlessly link them together with the built-in auto-linker function. Plus, World Anvil is always adding new features. For example, their built-in writing experience has just been fully revamped with block-based editing, easy image insertion, and much more. So now it is truly what you see is what you get, and I, for one, am loving it. And once you reside in depths of 20 to 30 feet, moving closer to the shoreline primarily to hunt. Their natural coloration tends toward a deep black, though like other octopi, they possess chromatophores capable of texture and color changes.
Octopi. We came from horses to octopi, but an
Hippomorphus
octopus that has the shape of a horse.
frequently takes a distinctly equine form, presumably.
Look, it literally coiled parts of its arms at the top to look like a horse's head, and its eyes at the back. But there's no way an octopus would do this. But I mean, octopuses are known to be really smart, right? But how would they know how to take a shape of a horse? Unless it's not like ancient magic involved. It's quite fascinating, right? Maybe it's the Kelpie trying to confuse people. Could be. Yeah.
Appear unintimidating to potential prey. Our first encounter with Hippomorphus occurred when, as previously mentioned, we made the decision to use a tethered goat as bait. We waded through 2 nearly moonless nights. I remember the silence most clearly. The usual evening chorus of frogs had fallen quiet, though at the time we didn't recognize this as significant. The creature emerged slowly from the deeper water around dusk, its dark form barely distinguishable from the shadows. Over several minutes, it assumed what we would later recognize as its characteristic pose, the silhouette of a medium-sized horse, complete with what appeared to be a mane and tail standing at the water's edge. For 40 minutes, nothing changed. During this time, the goat, which had been nervously testing its tether, began to calm before finally approaching the water's edge. What happened next occurred so swiftly that even our high-speed cameras barely captured it. In less than half a second, the horse-like form seemed to collapse and flow forward like a breaking wave. Multiple arms shot out, seizing the goat with devastating force. The creature dragged its prey underwater in under 2 seconds, leaving only the echoes of the poor creature's screams and our stunned silence. At this point, valued listener, your mind is likely swelling with questions. I will attempt to answer them in as much
Dude, play for us an audio or show us.
detail as I am able. First, it bears noting that Hippomorphus' method of creating a horse-like form is suggestive rather than anatomically precise, much like the mimic octopus of Indonesia, which imitates flounders or sea snakes without perfectly matching their anatomy. Indeed, in the dim twilight near the water's edge, a few well-placed arms and strategic shadows can suffice to suggest a grazing horse. The transformation begins with a strategic configuration of their arms. Several work together to create a basic quadrupedal shape, while others suggest a head and neck. The mantle, the main body mass, often remains partially submerged, creating what appears to be the trunk of the animal's body. What makes this deception successful is the careful exploitation of light and shadow. As indicated, Hippomorphus primarily hunt at dusk or dawn, when the eyes of diurnal creatures, like humans, are most susceptible to mistaking shapes. I believe that this suggestion is all that's needed. Human minds, especially, already primed by cultural expectations, frequently fill in the missing details. Of particular interest to me is their use of aquatic vegetation deliberately arranged to create the illusion of a mane or tail, even appearing to move naturally in the breeze. In certain conditions, the effect is surprisingly convincing, though in the daylight it almost certainly wouldn't withstand close scrutiny. While Hippomorphus maintains this pose, movement is minimal. It should be noted that Hippomorphus doesn't attempt to mimic a horse's gait or complex behavior.
Yeah, it's very interesting how an octopus would take form of a horse. I mean, where would the what part? How could an octopus see a horse? So maybe it could be a kelpie that maybe using an octopus shape to confuse the prey for its prey, basically. So that's quite interesting. These stories with kelpies are really interesting. I not come across this one, the one that talks about how it takes shape from an octopus to look like a horse. It's quite interesting. But maybe I wonder if we should play this video to see if these guys caught something on camera, or maybe have an audio, see maybe how it sounds like.
Instead, they remain largely still, making only slight adjustments to maintain their position. Interestingly, in my own experience, rather than being a limitation, in a way this stillness makes the illusion more effective. The subtle, unnatural move.
Yes, Lopez, they are smart creatures, but I think apparently octopuses have 7 brains. I may be wrong, but guys, look into it. If you're on Google, check. They have 7 brains. Apparently each brain operates one of its arm. So they are so smart that if you put it in a glass bottle, you know, like a jar where you put like plants and stuff like that, and maybe you leave the top slightly open, somehow it will find its way to open the top and get out. So they're really regarded as some of the most smartest creatures on the planet, close to alien, basically. So an octopus taking a shape of a horse, that sounds like it could be possible if it saw a horse. I think it needs some sort of reference to try and do a shape of something, but the kelpie becoming an octopus shape to confuse it's that sounds like it could be something true as well, you know. Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, these kelpie stories inspired my book Stormloch. Stormloch is based on this Scottish mythology, based on my new speedster character. If you're joining us right now, the whole discovery that I'm doing links back to my book Stormloch, which is on the screen right now. It's gonna launch tomorrow. It's supposed to launch today, but we have a few delays, so we decided to put it tomorrow. So if you go on my website etianverse.com, you click back Stormloch 1. It's a 26-page comic book, and you can back for as little as £1. Also, you can back for a digital copy for like £6. You've got a physical copy £8, and then you've got a signed copy for £10. And then there'll be other rewards like t-shirts or the merch that you can get. So with this story, I wanted to let me see what Lopez is saying. 100% because you have seen them figuring out puzzles. I mean, yes, I've seen that video of the puzzles. Yes, octopuses are really smart, really smart. So yeah, I don't know if it's a kelpie that turns into an octopus to confuse its prey, or if it's a kelpie that is trying to confuse whoever is near the water, right? So Lopez, we're talking about how there's these stories in the Scottish Highlands how octopuses potentially do shapes of horses and they're regarded as kelpies, and they may not be kelpies, or it could be vice versa. It could be kelpie horses that pretend to be octopuses and take their prey, and they feed on sheep. Sometimes they make humans drown. And potentially for me, this story about Stormloch, it's a Scottish horror and fantasy series. I was speaking to a friend of mine called Ross today, and he was teaching me how to do Scottish impressions, teaching me how to say lock, which I say lock. Apparently, you're not meant to say lock, you say loch. You know, like the French, they've got that thing on your throat. And we were talking about how you have to draw inspiration from somewhere. And then I was telling him how I'm scared of water. I can't swim, but I've got this fascination about what's underwater. Like, for example, we know so much about space than we know what's underwater. And it's that darkness, that stillness, that quietness that fascinates me. It scares me, but also it fascinates me in a way that if I'm creating stories, I'm trying to take you, the audience, on a journey to discover these hidden wonders of the world, this universe that's been created. And I feel like as a storyteller, it's not like I know everything, right? Let me see if I'm missing any answer. I think they have 9 brains. Literally, let's look at it. I think if we go on Google tell us how many brains does an octopus have. They're gonna tell us 9. See, 9 brains. I was right. Let's look at images. See, I told you guys. Look look at that. It shows you central brain. There's another brain like literally at the top of each arm, and there's the main brain over here, and the heart is kind of like here. They show you how the brains are linked. So 9 brains and 3 hearts. So they are very smart creatures. So going back to Stormloch, it's just my fascination about what's underwater, the underwater world. I don't know if you guys saw that video of the implosion, these guys who were going to see the Titanic. When I saw that video, I was so creeped out. I was like, how can people decide to go and see the Titanic, and they're going in something that is not even made out of titanium? I mean, I think submarines are made out of titanium. It's like the strongest metal, right? If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. They took something made out of carbon fiber and went underwater. Now, underwater, you're talking about pressure, water. The pressure underwater is crazy. So basically, you turn into like chapati, like you disappear like meats, right? Because of the pressure. So when I saw that video, well, basically when I saw the news, it's not like I was following that sort of exploration that was about to happen. I didn't know nothing about these guys, but as soon as I saw it being reported, I was like, this is it. It happened. These guys did not survive. There's no way they're gonna find their bodies. So the whole underwater is so fascinating for me that even creating Stormloch, I was just thinking, okay, I live in Scotland now. There's so many locks. Apparently, there's over 40,000 locks in Scotland. Don't get me wrong. I'll just Google this. Lots of water close to you is probably a lock if you're in Scotland. How many locks are in Scotland? Let's see. They should tell us how many locks. It's in Scotland. Scotland. Okay. They should tell us in the video. Let me see. Lockness. Oh, there's so many. How many locks? How many locks? Lock water, maybe, because lock water. Because you've got like Loch Lomond. I'm sure there'll be other locks around Scotland. Let me see. Is anyone describing? No, I can't see anything about how many locks. But yeah, things about underwater fascinates me. And obviously, growing up like in a Christian family, the order I got is like, I still believe in God and that, but I'm still curious about the planet. And that's why I'm a storyteller. I'm just trying to ask questions on things I do not understand. And the one thing that scares me the hell out of myself is water. Even literally like going to a swimming pool or learning how to swim. Dude, I'm not doing that. Like as soon as I get into the water where I can't feel where I step or I can't see the ground, I'm freaking out. Just like thinking about all the things like I've seen on movies with piranhas, sharks, like all the worst ways I could die. But anyway, so I'm scared of water just generally. So let's see. Let's see if I have any questions here that I may have missed out. Let's see. So we have two brain. We have two brain. Oh, hey, somebody. Yeah, Stormloch is gonna be wild. So all these things, my fascination about underwater world, what could be under the locks. You've had these stories of people disappearing and how the loch is so deep. And then when I was driving to Starling and then I saw these horses, I'm like, what's up with Scotland with these horse heads that are made out of beautiful statues made out of metal? And I put up a post on Facebook and people were like, you don't know kelpies? I didn't know what they were. And my approach to the story is that how do I create a character so fresh but also is original in some way, in a sense that he's also original in that sense but also inspired by things I love, superheroes and what superheroes stand for, but also tapping into some of original ancient stories that have been told within Scotland that maybe have not been explored in that genre. So Stormloch is gonna be the introduction of that speedster character that gets his power from the Kelpie. Now, I'm trying to stay away from all the negative things that they say about Kelpies, and I want to shift it to the other direction in a sense that they can be stories that show mostly that creatures were evil, but what if we were to flip that around so that the story can be more inspiring, right? Not that we're gonna leave out the evil, because the world has evil anyway, so we'll cover both parts of the story, and the villains in the story will do that part themselves. But that's just my fascination about underwater, if you told me right now that we're gonna go to one of those ships that leave Scotland and go to America, I think you can take like one of those big ships that you can take for weeks. It takes like 3 weeks to get to like America. No way I'm taking it. No freaking way. Like being underwater and you can't see 10 miles forward or back and you're just in the middle of nowhere. Dude, how grounding is it? How scary is it? For me, it's really scary. Even having the thought about it. Let me see if there's any questions. Yeah, Stormloch is gonna be amazing. So, as you can see, it's a tale of epic monsters mythical creatures and fearsome outlaws who have been around for generations. Now, the fearsome outlaws are the Razor Gang. Now, for those who don't know who the Razor Gang are, you can just Google them. Trust me, they are most interesting characters that did exist in the history of Scotland. They're more like Pinky Blinders. So I did have them appear in Beats of War series, but I feel like now with Stormloch, I have the opportunity to tell their original story just before Beats of War, before E.T. arrived in Scotland. How were they operating around Scotland? What were their operations like? Who was in charge? What part of Scotland were they operating? And I feel like trying to tell that origin of the story is key to my world building, because it's gonna get the fans understanding where everything started, right? And being it coming from Scotland, I was like, I really need to do a story that really captures Scotland's ancient stories and its history and things that make Scotland people feel proud of who they are. And a lot of people tell you these stories about Kelpies and they'll be laughing. And you know me, when you remember yesterday, Morgan, I was telling you about how if you have like 20 friends in a room and you tell them a small, like a quiet joke or a story, a word, by the time it comes around, it's kind of changed, right? So I know stories can be myths. That means they will not have a meaning. They could be made up stories, but I feel like there's always some truth to it. But also, if there's no truth to it, it's the fundamental reason for telling this story. You know, it's about courage. You know, it's about how sometimes you go through bad things, but you're meant to be a victor. You're meant to be something better in life. So that bad thing can teach you how to be resilient, how to, you know, to deal with pressure when you become what you're meant to be in life. That's what really Stormloch is about, you know, dealing with your deepest fears, right? So I've been really having so much fun creating these characters, because I feel like every time I create a new character in the Etianverse, I'm like, how do I make each character different? Because it's very easy to copy what Marvel and DC has done. No, I want to stay away from that. I really want to create something that, you know, captures Scotland, captures my African culture in that sense, and kind of blend those two. And I feel like having Speedster in the Etianverse is gonna make things really fun. And then we have a Speedster, we have a Superman-like character, E.T. at the end. We have Hyena Man, you know, Afrofuturism meets, you know, science fiction. Then we've got the Taylor Squad, who are more like Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. So yeah, we've got a big team of characters in the universe who have different genres, who could really cater to different audiences. So yeah, let's watch this video about Kelpies, see if there's anything cool we can discover. Maybe perhaps these guys can play for us, maybe an audio, maybe a clip of what they recorded, because they said they set up cameras, right? Like, you know what, before the start of this campaign, I wanted to go set up cameras in Loch Lomond, near the lock. I was like, I don't have enough cameras to sit around, plus I need a crew to help me out with this adventure. But anyway, let's hear what they say.
And give the entire silhouette an uncanny feel, and curious individuals of any species may draw near simply to investigate further, exactly as the creature intends. And when something does approach, whether animal or human, Hippomorphous' transformation from horse to predator is virtually instantaneous. The arms forming the head and neck snap forward to grasp the prey, while the supporting arms simultaneously release their rigid pose, allowing the creature to rapidly pull its victim into deeper water. Their powerful suckers create an almost inescapable grip. Rather than relying on venom, which chemical analysis indicates is relatively mild, this
For just $67, you can
It's
generate
another AI generated advert. I don't like this. Go. Let's listen. Let's see if there's anything
use
interesting.
depends largely on the disorienting effect of sudden submersion. The entire striking process occurs in less than half a second, faster than the human eye can track in the dim conditions they prefer for hunting. Overall, Hippomorphous' hunting strategy is remarkably sophisticated. They appear to select shallow areas where the lake bed slopes gradually, typically near established animal trails or crossing points. Their success rate with preferred prey, typically sheep-sized animals, exceeds 80% once the target is within range. And while certainly capable of taking larger prey like red deer, these events
So
are
we've learned that this could be octopuses that pose like kelpies, or it could be a kelpie lying that is an octopus. I mean, what's the truth? What's the real truth? Now, today my stream is going to end earlier, but I just want to give you an update. Tomorrow midday we're gonna release this is gonna go live tomorrow, and you'll be able to back Tele Squad. If you haven't gone to follow it, go follow it. It's ready to go, and tomorrow I'll release it, and then you can go back me. I'm gonna set up a target goal. Support me as much as you can. Kickstarter doesn't take money from you until 30 days after the campaign is finished. So if you're finding me for the first time and you wanna go and support me, let me see. Yeah, thanks for coming through and supporting me, showing me some love. Yeah, thank you for being part of my creative process. So it's launching tomorrow midday. Go there, support me, grab some t-shirts. We have some cool t-shirts. I have some books from Beats of War Volume 1, just 100-page graphic novel. You'll be able to get Volume 2 of Beats of War. Hyena Man books are on Kickstarter, and we have other collectibles that are part of the campaign. So yeah, go on there, support me. And before I go, there is a clip that I saw in have you watched Fantastic Beasts? Let me see if I can. Yeah, good night Rapaz, have a good one. Thanks for coming on the stream. So Fantastic Beasts by J.K. Rowling. Fantastic Beasts copy scene. Let's play this clip. It's about 2 minutes. I'm gonna mute it in case there's.
Fed nearly everyone. Think he's had his nose drops.
In case there is any copyright. Yes. Yeah, you have the first one, the second one. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So tomorrow you'll be able to have Stormloch cover A, cover B, t-shirts, vinyl for Beats of War that has all the music from Beats of War universe. So anyway, let's watch this clip. This is a clip where this guy goes underwater and controls and something to do with the kelpie. But let's see how they portray it.
Perhaps you should take off your shirt.
Don't worry. I'll draft quick enough.
This is tonic water, by the way. It's not alcohol. Here you go. Wait for it. Here you go. That's it. See, look at that. The water rises. That's crazy.
I'm in Bunty.
Wow.
You bite Bunty again, and there'll be trouble, missy.
What was that?
I don't know. But I want you to go.
That's the first kelpie relook of a kelpie in Fantastic Beasts. I can't believe I watched this movie. I missed this part out. It's crazy. I missed this part out.
You bite Bunty again, and there'll be trouble, missy.
What was that?
I don't know. But I want you to go home now, Bunty.
Shall I call the ministry?
No, I want you to go home.
Okay, let's see before I go if there's anything here. Let me see. There's some people have told some really Harry Potter. No, I've seen that. Is there any more creepy story about kelpies? The crow kelpies. Do we have anything? Let's see this one.
Dragons aren't the only legendary beasts hiding ancient secrets. Deep within Scottish Highlands lives the Kelpie, a shape-shifting water horse that drowns unsuspecting travelers by transforming into beautiful steeds. Dragons aren't the only legendary beasts
That's a
hiding
short
ancient
one.
secrets. Deep within
Scottish water, yeah. Let's see.
So here's a mythical creature that you might want to watch out for. The Kelpie from Celtic folklore. Kelpies are also referred to as water horses, and some of you might be thinking, oh, a water horse! That sounds lovely! I wish I could ride one of those.
No.
Well, here's the thing. You try to ride one of these, you gon' die. See, though, these things actually want you to try to ride them. They come up to you all inviting-like, but once you touch them, your flesh is bonded to theirs and you can't let go, at which point they immediately run into the ocean and drown you. Always pleasant. They then proceed to eat your flesh and then spit your remains back onto the shore. How considerate. There is one story, though, of a young boy who managed to escape the Kelpie by chopping off his own fingers before the Kelpie reached the ocean. Respect. So yeah, kids, don't try to ride wild demon horses. It does not end well.
It's quite scary. He doesn't want. He wants. Let me see. Let me see. Kelpies, yeah.
The Kelpies are 30-meter-high horse-head sculptures, depicting Kelpies, shape-shifting water spirits. The sculptures were designed by sculptor Andy Scott and were completed in October 2013. Built of structural steel with a stainless steel cladding, the Kelpies are 30 meters high and weigh 300 tons each.
Yeah, they're beautiful. These are beautiful. So yeah, thank you for stopping in today. I have had a blast. Tomorrow is the day. Stormloch is coming. We have our target. We want to hit our target. If you're watching today and you've been enjoying the work that I've been putting out there, I like him. Yo, yes. If you've been enjoying all the stories I've been putting out there, and you've been enjoying all the stories that I've been building and the universe, go support me. If you've not subscribed yet, go to our Kickstarter. You can subscribe by clicking the notify me on the launch, and then when you get when I hit launch, you get an email that tells you that the campaign is live. So yeah, welcome to a tale of epic monsters, mythical creatures, and fearsome outlaws who have been around for generations. Now, speaking about outlaws, I'm gonna go to our YouTube channel and I'll be playing for you one of the Beats of War trailer. Like it's like an introduction trailer that shows you some of these outlaws. And then let me see if I find it. Where is the trailer that is like the home trailer? I'm able to do that when I'm doing live stream. I don't think actually I am. I don't think I'm able to. But what I can do is I can play a video which introduces you Stormloch to you, so you get a full introduction for myself without stopping. So thank you for sticking around. This is the last video I'll be playing. It's going to be played all throughout. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow when I launch Stormloch 1, speeding into this Etianverse. We are very excited about this character. He's new, he's fresh. You're going to love the first story. And thank you so much for sticking around and supporting. I've been doing these live streams like 2-3 times a week because I like communicating, reacting to things, and having conversations with fans, which is really important. And if you haven't checked out our campaign, we have an animation campaign. Animation campaign is live. Let me go and show you a little bit how far we are. So we have a target of £2,000. We've had 33 supporters. We are 62% funded. This is how much we've raised. We aim to raise this. So if you can go support, you click this and then you put as much as you can put, from £30 going up. Thank you for the support. We are creating these wars because of your support. So tomorrow midday, go and support our universe. And before I sign off, I'm going to be playing this video that is going to introduce you more about Stormloch and the universe and what I'm creating. So have a fantastic night, have so much fun, and getting some good sleep, and tomorrow be ready to check out Stormloch, which is going to be one of the most exciting stories in the Etianverse. Let's go.
Stormloch is coming.
Yes, okay.
The Flash, powered not by science.
I'm going to start this again.
Imagine the Flash, powered not by science, but by ancient magic. Stormloch is coming. This is a tale of epic monsters, mythical creatures, and outlaws who have been around for generations. After creating Beats of War and seeing the success of the series, I felt the need to tap into the story of the Reza Gang. Now, the Reza Gang are the villains of the story within the Beats of War universe, and they're more like Pinky Blinders to kind of give you an understanding. And they did exist in Glasgow in the 1920s and 30s, and I feel like bringing them back into this fictional story would have been exciting for me, because you have a fictional character who's alien, who's landing in this so grounded and gritty world controlled by these gangs. It felt really exciting for me to kind of explore that bit of history of Scotland. Now, with Stormloch, I feel like I really needed to explore 3 years before. How was the gang like? What was going on within the gang before E.T. arrived on Earth? The inspiration for the story came from my obsession with Scottish mythologies, and I was like, if I'm to create a story that kind of touches on the Reza Gang, I really wanted to sort of build something that was quite emotional, something that was fast, relentless, and beautiful at the same time, and something that I felt like the audience could connect with to understand who these gangs are. And it's believed that under the lock, there's some mythical creatures based on this of stories that have been told for years and years called kelpies. It can appear into different forms, in form of a horse, or it can appear into form of a beautiful lady. Anything, if you touch that, it will drown you and kill you. So the story focuses on two brothers, one who is already in the gang and another brother who's trying to get into the gang. The names are Rory and Kieran, and Kieran is already in the gang, but now he wants his little brother to come along, but he needs to prove himself that he can be worth it. Now, the tagline for this is born a villain and chosen to be a hero. One night he's given a test mission to go and lead the gang to retrieve some of the weapons that are hidden in the bunker just under the water near Edinburgh. And through that mission, something happens and he gets connected to a kelpie. Now, I don't want to spoil the story for you. I want you to discover this. As a fan of superhero stories, I feel like even though I wanted to tell the story of the Reza Gang that kind of touched on who they are and how they ran their operation, I still wanted to blend in that sci-fi, that superhero element in there, but obviously it's terrifying because it's got that some horror stories linked to these mythical creatures of kelpies. So all that inspired me to create Stormloch. So Stormloch is seen in this issue become that character. In this issue, it's a parallel story. So you've got these two roads. He needs to choose if he wants to join the gang, and obviously he has to choose if he has to become the hero. Obviously, the road of a hero is chosen for him by the kelpie, and I want you guys to check this out. It's a lot of fun. It's original. For me, creating this character, I wanted to sort of create something that I've never seen before, but also something that was inspired by a lot of work, a lot of superhero stories that I love. If you love Venom, if you love The Witcher, Peaky Blinders, and you love Scottish mythology and Hellboy, you absolutely love Stormloch. It's fast, relentless, beautiful, and utterly terrifying. If you're a fan of horror, you will absolutely love this. If you're a fan of sci-fi, you will absolutely love this. If you're looking to discover new stories that are different and original, Stormloch is for you. What to expect from this campaign? So we've got cover A by Ben Wilsonham and cover B by Joe Bennett. I've been working with Ben on Beats of War series, so he literally understands the Reza Gang. And then Joe Bennett obviously working with me on Hyena Man series, and he's the lead artist on that. He also understands the universe, and he had to do the cover for the Speedster. So, and what else do you find in this campaign? So since Stormloch exists in the world of Beats of War, and I really feel like if you're reading Stormloch for the first time and you grab the issue, you would want to see what happens when E.T. lands on Earth in Scotland. So you follow the story of the gang. So we have Stormloch cover A and B. We have Beats of War Volume 1, which collects issue 1 to 5 of Beats of War. That's 100 pages of story, including exclusive behind scenes of my creative process. And something cool as well, we have Volume 2 of Beats of War that is part of this campaign. 108-page graphic novel that also follows from Beats of War Volume 1. That's a lot of story to catch up to after you read the Stormloch. And something really cool about my universe, every comic book I release, I usually have a soundtrack because it's linked to Beats of War, and now you have Stormloch. We've got special vinyls that will be signed by me that will be part of this campaign. So go ahead, check out the add-ons, check out the rewards. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on this book. It's new, it's fresh, it's exciting, it's utterly terrifying, but also beautiful at the same time. Welcome to Stormloch.
And for those who are joining us for the first time, already signed out, that's the cover, the first look of Stormloch in his full suit. And to break down what you see in the suit, you can see the green suit to represent the seaweed that is linked to kelpies, and then the eyes based on how the kelpies see underwater, and he's got like the breathing space here, you know, with like creatures like that which they are underwater, they have some sort of bio system on how they breathe underwater, and they, you know, bluish things around him here, you see these are supercharged veins that are part of his suit that has water and vapor running through that helps supercharge his suit so he can go fast. These help him with, you know, diverting directions. They help him while he runs over water and underwater as well, and on land. And something really cool about my speedster is that when it comes to a character that is super powered by water and vapor, he can literally take water from anything. Let's imagine he's like on the street. If there's trees around him, there is ground around him, there's air, there's always water around that, and that's what powers his suits. He has his weaknesses as other characters do, but I feel like this could be really cool to explore, and I don't think I've seen it being explored in any sense. And the fact that I love horses and I love the idea of kelpies, I really wanted to kind of make though he got this power from the kelpie. So tomorrow you'll get to read so much about it, so I'm getting tired. But for those who have been sticking around since I've been here, thank you. And what I'm gonna do before I sign out, I wanted to play for you this Beats of War trailer. Reasons why I want to play Beats of War trailer is because it's got the Razor Gang in, and I wanted to play it but I couldn't find it on the homepage. Beats of War, Beast, this Beast. Here you go. No, not this one, I've got two trailers of Beats of War. Here you go. Get started. So Stormloch takes place 3 years before Beats of War, and these are the Razor Game. This is Steph and some of his goons. They've got guns and everything. These guys are pretty badass. You're gonna see them in the series. It's one of the hideout places hangars in Govan. Let me see if there's anything that is in the trailer. Okay. As E.T. going to fight. Yeah. Thank you. Have a good night. Stormloch is dropping tomorrow. See you when it drops. Signing off, guys. Have a good night.